Sunday evenings, right over at Hope House, we will have youth group. That is from 6:30 to 8 p.m., and I'll be leading that time. On Mondays, we will have our women's group. I'll come back to explaining what's happening there. On Tuesdays, we'll have our prayer group ongoing. And thanks to Bob and Lois, that's been running all throughout the year. On Wednesdays, we will have adult Bible study that's open to all adults, okay? Couples, singles, men, women, all welcome to come out. And on Wednesday evenings, we will be discussing what you have been reading in this Life of Paul reading plan, okay? This has been available on the table the past several weeks. It's in your bulletin today. This is the reading plan that we're doing together as a church. And so what you're going to do is you're going to be reading these passages on your own throughout the week. And then on Wednesdays, we are going to gather to talk through what you have read. And hopefully I'll be able to answer some of your questions and provide some more insights into what we have read over the course of the week, all right? So does that make sense, the Wednesday night group? It's a Bible study, right? You guys know about Bible study, and like it's the thing that churches do? All right, so that's what we're doing on Wednesdays. And then on Thursday evenings, we will have our men's group. Now let's talk about men's and women's group here, all right? See if you can follow along. All right. We are trying something slightly new this school year. We are trying a team approach to leading the women's group and the men's group, okay? Instead of having one point person, we're going to have a team approach to leading. And both our women's group and our men's group will have essentially what I'm calling default mode, right? Okay, so here's what this means. The men's group and the women's group will be following along doing a parallel type of a study, which means whatever we talk about here on Sunday mornings, that's what you're going to talk about in the women's group on Monday nights, and that's what the men are going to talk about on Thursday evenings. Does that make sense? And so you'll show up to worship, I'll talk at you about a subject on Sunday, and then ladies, you'll gather together on Monday evenings to talk through what we've discussed, and gentlemen, you'll gather together to talk through what we've discussed. Does that all make sense? Here's where it gets a little tricky. There will be occasions where the women and the men might jump off of that default mode and do a separate study for 4 weeks or 6 weeks or 8 weeks. We might have a woman in the women's group who wants to lead a book study, or a guy in the men's group that wants to lead a DVD series. And so we're open to adjusting throughout the year. But as what are we calling it? Default mode, right? You'll be doing a parallel study. You'll have a simple discussion sheet to add to some conversation prompts, and that's what's happening. You look like you understand. Does this all make sense? If it doesn't, I'm going to try to explain it again in writing over email. The best thing to do is just show up, and we'll figure it out together. Now, I want to warn you about something, especially the ladies. Next week, when all the groups resume, when they start up, I will be attending the very first women's group, okay? I know I don't meet the requirements, but I will be in attendance just to talk through everything and to give you an example of how this works and show you how easy it is to facilitate the women's group. And then you will have the opportunity to sign up and say, you know what, I want to lead this date, I want to lead that date, I want to lead that date, okay? And gentlemen, I'll be showing up at men's group as well to do the same, just to talk through how this all works.